Euro 2024 is taking place in Germany this year, so I thought it would be a good idea to give some early predictions on what's going to happen in this tournament. The groups have already been announced and there are some very close ones. But before we get into that, we need to take a look at the playoffs. Which three teams are going to take those last three spots? For playoff Path A, it's between Poland, Estonia, Wales and Finland. For Path B, it's Israel, Iceland, Bosnia and Herzegovina or Ukraine. And for Part C, it's Georgia, Luxembourg, Greece or Kazakhstan. For Path A, I think Wales are going to go through. They have a way better squad than the rest of the teams and they were very unlucky to miss out on automatic qualification. And for Part B, it has to be Ukraine, who were also very unlucky not to qualify automatically. They were in a group with England and Italy and were so close to finishing second. And for Path C, I think Greece will qualify because again, they were in a tough Euro qualifier group with France and the Netherlands, and this time they're against easier opponents. So with those quick playoff predictions out of the way, it is time to move on to Group A. Group A is between Germany, Scotland, Hungary and Switzerland. You'd expect Germany to top this group, but their recent results have been very poor. Been losing to teams that they should be beating in all of their recent international friendlies. But there's still a few months for them to sort that out, and squad-wise they are very strong. And considering the fact that they are also the host nation, I think Germany are still going to top this group. The rest of the group is very hard to predict. Scotland had a very good qualifying campaign, qualifying in second and even beating Spain one time. Hungary even topped their group unbeaten, although it was quite a lot easier than other groups. Then there's Switzerland, who probably have better players and they even qualified for the knockout stage of the last World Cup, but they lost out to Romania in the qualifier. I am very unsure about which of these teams are going to finish where, but here is my prediction. My second place for this group is going to be Hungary. They've performed really well whenever I've seen them against England, and I think they might make it far as underdogs in this tournament. For my third place, I'm going for Switzerland. They have a better quality squad than Scotland, and they tend to perform better at major tournaments. So Scotland are going to be going home in the group stage. As I said, this is probably the hardest group to predict, and any of these teams can finish second. But for me, Scotland have the weakest squad. Now moving on to Group B, which features Spain, Croatia, Italy and Albania. Let's start off by looking at Spain, who are on decent form at the moment. They topped their qualifying group and they were semi-finalists at the last Euros. Sure, it didn't end well for them at the World Cup, but they did beat Costa Rica 7-0 and played some very good possession-based football. They've got some promising young players as well as Rodri, who's one of the best midfielders in the world. But they've got a hard group. Croatia were third place in the World Cup and got knocked out of the last Euros on extra time by Spain. But Croatia weren't that good in qualifying, losing out to Turkey for that first place spot. And then you've got Italy, whose last major tournament was the Euros, which they won. They came into that tournament having not qualified for the 2018 World Cup, so we could see a repeat. However, the Italian national team has been a mess lately, only just getting past Ukraine in qualifying and losing manager Mancini to Saudi Arabia. The final team in this group is Albania. They did very well in qualifying, topping their group over Czech Republic and Poland. However, the gap between them and the other three teams in this group is far too big for me to see an upset. So I'm going to predict Spain to win this group because I think their squad is very good and they've been playing well this year. Then Croatia are going to get second. I think Croatia are a very good team and they're going to finish ahead of Italy. But I still think Italy will get third place over Albania. Now it's time to move on to Group C. Just like Group B, this features two of the Euro 2020 semi-finalists. Group B had Italy and Spain, and Group C has England and Denmark. Denmark seem to have gone downhill since then though, having failed to get out of their group at the 2022 World Cup. Likewise, Serbia had high expectations going into the World Cup, but they failed to get through their group. England, on the other hand, just keep getting better with players like Saka, Foden, Bellingham and Rice all improve. And then you've got Kane, who's been smashing it in the Bundesliga. And then you've got Slovenia, who I really don't know what to expect from. They ended on the same amount of points as Denmark during qualifying, so they could challenge for second or third. The easiest decision of this group is first place, and I think that's going to be England. They have a good chance of winning the whole tournament. I'm also predicting Denmark to get second, because they have a better squad than Serbia and Slovenia. Third place is going to be Slovenia. That's my upset for this group. Serbia just tend to disappoint at major tournaments. Now for Group D, France, Netherlands, Wales and Austria. France and Netherlands were in the same qualifying group and France beat them both times they faced. Austria did very well in qualifying, getting 19 points, just 1 point behind Belgium. Wales aren't a bad team either, and they qualified for the most recent World Cup, unlike Austria. Group, I'm going to predict that France finish first, because they've got the best squad in the entire tournament besides maybe England. They were also the best European team at the World Cup. My second place is going to be the Netherlands, because they are a way better team than Austria, who I do think will finish third over Wales just based on recent form. Group E is also a very interesting one. Might consider this an easy group for Belgium, but that second place spot is all to play for, and so is first place, to be honest. Belgium were terrible at the World Cup, but their qualifying performances haven't been too bad. They topped their group without losing a single match. However, their opponents, Slovakia, Romania and Ukraine, could all be dangerous. All looked like solid teams during qualifying. Slovakia lost only to Portugal, Romania topped their group over Switzerland, and Ukraine managed to draw against both England and Italy. Belgium are still the favourites, and I'm still going to predict that they finish first. But this could be close. My second place is going to be Ukraine. This team played very well against England, and they were quarter-finalists at the last Euros. And for third place, I've gone for Slovakia, because if you exclude the matches against Portugal, who were a far better team than anyone in Romania's group, Slovakia did better in qualifying. Final group of the Euros is Turkey, playoff winner which I think will be Greece, Portugal and the Czech Republic. For this group, you would expect Portugal to win. They won all 10 games in qualifying and have some amazing players. For me, their biggest challenger is Turkey. They topped their qualifying group, finishing ahead of Croatia. Greece did okay in qualifying too, finishing only behind France and the Netherlands. And the Czech Republic finished almost top, tied on points with Albania. My predictions for this group are Portugal first. They were the best team in qualifying, and they're the best team in this group. Second is Turkey, again just based on their performances in qualifying. And my third place is going to be Greece, because they did very well, considering they were with France and the Netherlands, and the Czech Republic could easily have topped their group, and they didn't. Now for the knockout stages, but before that, we need to choose which third place teams are going into the last 16. I've done this based on how likely the teams are to beat the team in fourth, but also get points off of the teams in first and second. I've gone with Switzerland, Italy, Slovakia and Greece. In the last 16, I've got Spain beating Slovakia, Germany beating Denmark, Portugal beating Switzerland, Netherlands beating Ukraine, Belgium beating Italy, France beating Turkey, England beating Greece, and Croatia beating Hungary. That gives us some very interesting quarterfinals, where I think Spain will beat Germany and Portugal will beat the Netherlands. Belgium are going to get another tough match against France, which they're going to lose, and England are going to beat Croatia like we did at the last Euros. Now we have who I think are going to be the four best teams at this tournament: Spain, Portugal, France and England. I'm predicting England and Portugal to make it to the final. And the winner of Euro 2024 will be England. With players like Bellingham, Foden, Walker, Rice and Kane, we should have a good chance of bringing football home. Anyway, thanks for watching my early Euro predictions. They're probably going to be different from yours. Comment down below who you think is going to win the whole tournament, and I'll see you later.